doing things the way that they should be done, things started to change. And so, we honor the individual. We're glad for the individuals, but more importantly, we're glad that there's a way out. There's a way of changing, and not only changing your life, but getting to be a part of something. I was just going to come away. Today I heard, back before I came in, there was no such thing as homeless. It was against the law to not, we were vagrants. Things used to be a little different. Things are the same, but they're different. The police used to take us to the city line and tell us not to come back. I don't want to see you back in this area. And, it just gave me a real warm feeling to hear that one of the cities that got kicked out of, Newark, New Jersey, they just nominated as the most unwelcome place in the world. So, one of the things, and I don't know about others, but where you get this feeling of you're not welcome anywhere, or that things aren't going to work for you, or you're in kind of a war with the world. And, what happened is, just real simple, is that's the way my life was going. And what happened is that some men came to where I was at and showed me a way out. And I was in a position where I wanted to get out of where I was at. They talk about, if you want what we have, but more importantly, I didn't want what I had. And at the time, I was living on the streets in the Salvation Army. Some guys took me out. At that time, it was before programs. And some guys took me out, which are the model for this program. They took me out. It was a group, an AA group in New York called Sobriety Unlimited. In New York City, they're known as the Cops and Robbers Group. And there was numbers of policemen, numbers of priests. There's a mortician. There was those of us that had been incarcerated at different times. But there was a common purpose about doing something together that we could change the way things were. They started to show me a path, the same path that they got shown, same path that's available here. They told me that they would assist me if I go to 90 meetings in 90 days. They told me that every day, which I thought was wonderful for the first 4 days. And then after the fourth day, I've been on the street, and they put me in a room that had a TV. And, so by the fifth night, I'm going they're just going to waste another night. But it was the model that if you want what we have, and you're willing to do the things that are necessary, if you're willing to put in the things that are necessary to change, that it's available for you. And most of us aren't willing to pay the price to get what we've got coming if we're willing to do what's necessary. So, one of the things, when we started 41 years ago, we were set up to fail. The first 4 or 5 guys we had, they said, they won't get sober. And for those that know the story, the first 5 guys we had all got sober. There's a couple of them still alive. The others stayed sober until they passed away. So parts of it is that there's a real part that doing, it doesn't have to do with Project 90, although, we are the instrument. It has to do that there's a philosophy and a way of doing things that if you're willing to do, that you can join and also be a part of what happens. So with that, I want to welcome the people that are new. I want to welcome those that are wherever within the journey. And now for the good part is we're going to hear the 60-day speech.
This is as high as I get. So I really get nervous in front of really big crowds, man. Coming here to Project 90, man. Learning that the power of suggestion is really powerful. I had a hard time taking suggestions when I first came here. I like to say when I first came here that I became a project here at Project 90. And you know what? In first meeting this guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was instructed or I was suggested by my counselor to go talk to him, right? So I followed that suggestion, and what happened was I sat in his office, and he was like, "So what's going on?" I was like, "I don't know." He was like, "Well, what are you doing here?" I said, "Well, Al Haysbert said I should come here and talk to you." He said, "All right, well, what do you want to talk about?" I was like, "I don't know." But you know, he sat there and just kind of like stared at each other, and you know what I mean? Like, and this is like the first man that I've ever admitted that, you know what I mean, like really made me nervous. And I even told him so like 3 times in a 5-minute conversation. But now, like, I consider him like a really good friend, you know what I mean? So, you know what, like, you know, like you said, man, you know, coming here, man, like, I didn't know what recovery was. You know what I mean? I didn't know what any of the anonymous programs were. You know, I was completely oblivious to any type of recovery, man. Coming here, like, I was blessed. I was blessed to meet people. I was blessed the counselor I had, and I was blessed to give it opportunities, man. And in doing so, like, when I first came here, like, I ran into a very good friend of mine that I grew up with, and that kind of like helped pave the way for me. You know what I mean? So in doing that, like, I stuck around, right? And in doing so, like, one of my family members came along, man. And like, I haven't seen her in a while, you know what I mean? Because we kind of like parted ways in our addiction, you know what I mean? But like, you know, and when I seen her, you know what I mean? Like it was, man, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. And you know what, man? You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you tell her story, man. But man, I am truly honored, truly blessed, and it is a true privilege to stand here today and give 3 years to my cousin Desiree Bryant.
My name is Desiree, and I'm an addict. So I just want to say, first of all, welcome to the newcomer, and welcome back if you went out and you're coming back. You know, welcome. So when I first got here to Project 90, like, I didn't come for myself. I came. Well, part of it was for myself. I was broken in spirit, and I needed a change. And I had a little push, you know, from somebody that was in my life at the time, and told me, like, I had to come here because I had a problem, but they were their addiction with me. But anyhow, so I came to Project 90, and like, here I got hope. You know, when I came, like I said, I was broken. I had nothing, you know, and I learned here to love myself, most of all, you know, and to be honest with myself. I didn't think I had a problem when I got here, and I learned that, you know, I was the problem, first and foremost. So what happened for me was I got introduced to the room. I got a sponsor. I took some suggestions, and I did some steps, you know, and it helped me to become a better person, right? And I'm really grateful for Project 90 because without them, I wouldn't be able to do that, first of all. So I just want to say thank you.
People want things to change. What they don't realize is that for things to change, they have to change. It's about you getting better. And, you know, kind of like all on a journey, we're all in process wherever it's going. And, you know, like Kenny said, you know, some people stay here for a period of time and then go on at whatever period of time. Some stay. And, you know, there can be a better calling than somebody gets their life together and then is called to continue to help others. And so he becomes, you know, not only people who came through part of our family, but he becomes an integral part of what we do here. And so it's a real pleasure to give 3 years to Ralph Porcher.
That's right. You see? No.
3 years. My name's Terrell Addy. Hey, Terrell! So, I don't even know what to say. I'm just really, truly grateful. As I look out here, I've known some of you guys for a long time, and a lot of you guys have told me the same thing. They're like, wow, you're still here? Don't trip, you're not alone. I feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? I think that all the time. Wow, I'm still here. And I'm shocked, I'm amazed, I'm grateful, I'm happy, I'm overjoyed. But I also feel that, and I didn't plan on this, this is something that happened. I feel that sense of, like, I got work to do, like, I need to give it back. And I've gotten that from the transformation that's taken place since I've gotten here. It's my first time ever coming in recovery, first time ever trying to get clean. And I came into these doors knowing one thing and one thing only. I knew what I didn't want anymore. And that was all. I had no clue what to expect, what to do, what to say, how to say it, where to say it. Thank God, Project 90 got all that covered. If you don't believe me, read your blue book. So, you know, and that's cool. They take all that stuff out of the equation so you really don't have to think about anything else, but just accomplishing the main thing that you want. And that for a lot of us, that's not to be sitting back sleeping under a bush, under a bridge, not to be in the wire, Folsom, wherever else you've been. For a lot of us, it's just not it's to be able to go to work 2 days in a row without skipping and calling out sick, whatever, being fall down drunk somewhere. Like, you know, whatever it is that you didn't want, when you walk in these doors, that's where I was. I've been there. And ever since that moment, I think the fact that I didn't come in here with any preconceived notions, any ideas of how this works and how this is, was a big blessing for me, because all I did was come in as a blank page. And I said, whatever I need to do, I'll do it. And I followed some suggestions that this program gave me, Mr. Stansberry. The counselor, my counselor was Alonzo McConnell. He's no longer here, but he no longer works here, but he was an integral part of this recovery thing for me. He was that person that helped lay down that foundation. Hi guys, see you. And it's just, I can't explain to you what it means for me to be able to have my mom here and my dad here to be able to share this with you.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I mean, like, I've had so many wonderful things that have happened for me, you know. I got my own place, I've gotten a job, I've gotten all these things that we want to get back when we come in here, right? We're not doing this for nothing, you know what I'm saying? We want our life to improve, and for most of us, improving in our life is to get a job, keep a job, and get a place, to, you know what I'm saying, get a relationship, and get all these different things. Like, I've gotten all of that. I'm in school, I'm getting straight A's, like, I'm getting all these things, right? That feels good, that's great. The number one most important accomplishment that I have made since I've gotten clean is that I have the opportunity, and I take full advantage of it to the best of my ability every day to be the best son I can to those two individuals right here. That is my greatest accomplishment that I've accomplished since I've been here. That is the gift that we have, that we get when we come in here, and we can remove some of this chaos and this madness from our lives. We can realize and remember the things that are most important to us. So I want to take the time to say to you guys, thank you for really never giving up on me. I told you that the other day. My 3 years was on the 13th, and I called them and told them that day, I was like, today I got 3 years clean, and I just want to thank you for all that you've done for me, but the biggest thing is for never giving up on me. Because the most important thing about that was that there were moments when I gave up on myself. Many, many moments that I gave up on myself. They never gave up on me. They were there for me to do for myself what I couldn't do for myself. So, again, thank you guys. And to all you guys that are in the front row, I sat in those chairs and I remember what I was thinking. All the people that came up here and are getting the chips and they're saying their speeches and all this other stuff like that, I was like, there's no way that person is clean. They gotta be chipping someplace, somehow. Gotta be. And all All I did was stick around here to find out. And I found out. Now I know. Whatever it is that you got going on out there, it'll be there when you're done here. So stay here and get everything you can. All those people, all those things, all that madness, chaos, drama, and BS that's going on out there, I guarantee it will be there when you leave here. But you don't ever have to return to it if you don't want to. Hold on to these seats like gold, because that's what they are. Terrell, Maddie, thank you.
All right.